FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried is back on the stand today in his criminal fraud trial, but this time he's answering questions in front of a jury. Yesterday, in a rare move, the judge ordered the jury be sent home as Bankman-Fried gave his first round of testimony. The judge was then going to decide which pieces of evidence could be used today. NBC News legal analyst Danny Cevallos is here to help us understand it all. But let's start with CNBC's Kate Rooney outside the courthouse in Manhattan. Kate, Sam Bankman-Fried is facing a long list of charges, including wire fraud and money laundering. He's now on the stand to defend himself. But what is his defense?
So the defense so far, Stephanie, has been that he had good intentions, that he was building a high-growth, valuable company. He made mistakes, yes, but he did not commit fraud. They're trying to prove that he did not have criminal intent. Among the things that they're talking about is risk management. He's admitted on the stand that they didn't have enough risk management. He said that was one of his biggest mistakes. He also acknowledged that customers were hurt. But when his defense attorneys asked him directly, did you steal customer money and did you commit fraud? He said no. And so tried to clearly paint the difference between taking on too much risk and committing a crime at this point. They have argued he hasn't committed a crime, but was taking on a lot of risk there. Also talked about him being just too busy to run two companies. He's tried to shift the blame, claim that he was naive to some of the issues going on, and blamed other top executives who have already testified we've heard from in the past few weeks.
So, Danny, you heard Kate lay that out there. What do you make of this defense?
The essence of Sam Bankman-Fried's defense in taking the stand has to be only one thing. It's basically convincing the jury that all the things the government has put into evidence, his mindset was not intentional, it was careless. In other words, we didn't have risk management. Was that on purpose? No. I was just ignorant. I was careless.
Is that
I was negligent.
Is careless a defense?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting defense because you're saying, hey, I was the boss, but I didn't know what was going on. I let other people handle that. It's on them. I was sort of the figurehead, but when it comes to things like coding and the nitty-gritty, I left that to my lieutenants. Therefore, I lack the criminal intent. Look, this entire testimony is a gambit. Will it pay off? Who knows? Then again, it may not be that much of a gamble if the defense is thinking it's not looking that good anyway. Might as well try something.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kate, it's gotten a little rocky in court. We understand the judge got a little testy with Sam Bankman-Fried yesterday. What happened, and what's the feeling inside the courtroom today?
So it's quite different than what we heard yesterday. He's been a lot more calm and prepared this morning. Yesterday, we had sort of a preview of what it's going to be like when he gets cross-examined by the government attorneys, the prosecution. In this case, he stalled a bunch. He was asking follow-up questions. He was evading a lot of the questions and just found a way to answer things without clearly saying yes or no. Really caused some frustration with the judge. Multiple times, Judge Kaplan said, listen to the question and answer the question, and so sort of scolded him in the courtroom. So there was a lot of frustration and honestly tension in the room yesterday. It's a little bit different today, but we expect that maybe to play out again when he gets cross-examined in the coming days.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.